Welcome back to another Phill-osophy Arc episode. In this episode, I'm going to cover one of the oldest elements of the human, animal, creature psyche. The one thing that keeps us all alive. Procrastination. It's what keeps us in the caves, in the burrows, in the little holes in the ground, in the hollows in the trees, hiding under the leaves. It's what keeps us out of danger. What keeps us out of our reach of our predators, Keeps us away from getting swooped by a bird and carried off into the sky. Or run down by a massive animal like an elephant, or getting ripped apart by a leopard. Through the entirety of living life existence on this planet, since we went from the ocean to the shores, to the land, to the trees, to the ground again, and then walked on two legs, we've been hiding for safety reasons. And it's still in here, in the core of our brains, the most base instinct part of our brain. It says, hey, if we don't leave the cave, we don't die today, That's hardwired, folks. That's not a software issue. That's not something that can be taught at birth. It's there. It's permanent. It's in our genetics. It's in our DNA, It's bred into us over millions of years of evolution. That's how humans got here, folks. Because we did what we had to stay alive. But hell, look, we're in a modern age now, folks, and we've got so much technology and medical care and facilities and everything and infrastructure that everybody gets across the starting line and the finishing line. And we don't need to be afraid anymore. The sky's the limit. So now we just have modern procrastination. It's like, hey, today's cold, I don't want to get out of bed. Well, it's like rip that doona off, wake that body up, It's the same reason I have 3 rotations in the shower on full cold water, Telling the body I'm in control. I'm in charge. No mercy for stooges, as they'd say. Now, in this modern age, we've got to fight procrastination. To do anything, it's like, so I could go out fishing. But Netflix, and a warm blanket on the couch, and my favourite hot chocolate beverage. That's pretty tempting, And we'll just be like, bad dog, get out of the house, go fishing. Because when you get home, you're going to be like, you know what? I did enjoy that. I'm glad I left the house, Because, we don't have caves anymore. We've got houses, Still don't want to leave the cave, metaphorically, But we don't have predators anymore out there. Well, except for each other, Sometimes we're the predator. Sometimes we're the prey. So we've got nothing to hide from anymore. And we still fear that innate desire to, not leave home, Or not pick up the phone and order a pizza because that's too scary, I'd rather write a text. Or talk to the boss, ask for a pay rise. Oh, spooky. It's like, no, we've got to toughen up because, now our modern predators and our fights and our, hunting, it's like, well, a job is hunting. Survival is paying the bills. Instead of, getting gored by a rhinoceros trying to catch dinner for the family or the tribe, instead it's just like, well, we better keep those paychecks rolling in, keep them coming, boys. Got to pay them bills to have a cave and a house, pretty much. So we still live in fear of things. The oldest fear we all have as humans, right, is snakes. You ever step over a big piece of grass and you're like, nope, nope, turn around, go the other way. The amount of times I've done that on the river, folks, almost stepped on a snake, a danger noodle as they call them. We still live in fear of some creatures is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of the times we'll be pushed beyond our limits of comfortability, and what we're willing to do. But sometimes, hey, we want to apply for that job. We want that pay rise, we want that client, renegotiation with the client. We're going to have to push the boundaries of fear and into the boundaries of procrastination. My biggest procrastination would be tax time. Ugh. That's why I pay other people to do it for me. Yeah. That's just how it is, So at the end of the day, folks, the sky's the limit. Not much is going to hurt us. Mainly it's going to be ourselves hurting us, But the biggest threats we have as a society and humanity now is what? car accidents, workplace accident, and if we're over like 47 to 55, you know, falling off a stepladder backwards and going on the pavement, you know. That's the only things we're going to be afraid of. At the end of the day, folks, there's not really much to be afraid of. Well, except ourselves and what our potential is, or living in fear of lacking of potential, you know. Don't fear the unknown, folks. Walk out of that cave every day. Walk into the sun and go, oh yeah, I'm ready to kick some goals, you know, and catch an antelope or a deer maybe. Maybe fight an elephant with the boys. Embrace the danger, embrace the fear. Get out there and have a good time and achieve something. Because that is the single best source of dopamine one can ever harness and discover and work towards. It's not TikTok or Facebook or Instagram threads, you know, and get out there and get some real dopamine going. Achieve something instead of living in fear of it. This is Phill-osophy Arc. I love myself. I love you all. Catch you later. And have a good one. Hey, Future Racer here. If you're finding the Phill-osophy Arc series inspirational, educational, entertaining, humorous, or it's giving you a little smile, think about liking and subscribing. If you have a family member, loved one, or friend who you think could equally benefit from this series, think about sharing it with them.